Hey guys, it's Tim from Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and we're here with another Pro Wrestling Unlimited podcast here on Wednesday, the 16th. What's going on, Nick?
Hey, what's going on, folks? Welcome to the podcast, and guess what? I got notifications on my phone, on my iPad, and on my computer. That means that everyone's hearing this. Welcome to the Wednesday show. I hope you all are having good Wednesdays. Almost done with the week, thankfully. What do we got? What do we got to wrap up this week? We got the podcast today. We're going to record the Fightful Wrestling Weekly tomorrow.
Yep.
Which goes up on Friday.
And then also on Friday, our new show, Link It to Wrestling, will come out.
Yeah. Oh, do you want to talk a little about Link It to Wrestling once we start getting more people in here?
Yeah, I can. I don't really have. Well, I can.
I mean, you can give him the example that you kind of gave in the last.
I got something.
You know what I have?
What do you got? Yikes!
A burp. I'm gonna load you up on my iPad because my computer's just deciding to shit the bed right now.
Uh-oh.
I mean, I don't know. See, okay, I'm saying fuck it with the computer. We've got the Beastmaster, Shadow Prodigy, Mystic Eclipse, and Andres Fernandez. Hey Tim, Andres says, "Hey Tim and Nick, do you hear Yanni or Laurel?" I hear Laurel.
I actually hear them both.
I hear Laurel. See, I heard Yanni at first, and even my brother today. My brother came home and he was like, "Dude, I heard on the radio today. I fucking heard Laurel." And I was like, "Yes!"
Well, no. So, last night when I first heard it, I heard Yanni. And then...
Right. And we did this. Let's recap this. For those of you that don't know, it's this really dumb video.
If I had my phone next to me, I'd play it, but I don't have it next to me.
It happens. But basically, it was a sound pitch, and if you play it high, like, it depends on the frequencies of which you play it at. So, there's that. So what do you guys hear? Beastie Boys 124 says both. What is that? Oh, Daniel says, "Hey Nick, how are you?" I'm alive. Patrick Maloney says, "Hello guys. Brock is the man. Will always be." That's true. Nick, do you like SpongeBob? No, I'm not 3. fucking Katie. Katie comes hardcore in here. It's fucking Laurel.
Whoa.
Jeez. She is confident on this. So we do have some stuff to talk about today. Luckily, this doesn't have to be too formal of a show, which I can greatly appreciate because I'm God knows I'm not a formal man, but there is a little topic I want to bring up. And lately on Twitter, first I want to bring up, I cleaned my desk today. And you know that feeling of getting all the fucking wires out everywhere so there's no wires hanging off your desk?
Exactly.
It's a really good feeling. Like, I finally found a place. I finally found the perfect place for my XLR cable to not stick out all weird. It's very good. It's very, very nice. But on Twitter, Seth Rollins has been hashtagging a lot of his posts with hashtag #BrockWho. And at first, I was a little angry at a promo that Rollins had cut because he said something like, "I don't want to be like Brock Lesnar." I was like, who the fuck wouldn't want to be like Brock Lesnar? You get to hold the title whenever you want. You don't have to show up, all these things. But then I got to thinking, man, I'd really like to see Rollins as a world champion again. So, I mean, Tim, what do you think about the whole thing that's going on with that? Do you think it's going to lead to anything?
I hope it does. Like,
I do too.
I mean, here's the only issue. So say it does lead to something at SummerSlam. Does Seth drop the IC title first, or do we do champion versus champion? Because if it's champion versus champion, Brock will most likely win. But if Seth drops the title, then maybe Seth takes the Universal title.
Well, okay, why does Brock have to win if it's champion versus champion? Why does he have to win? I mean,
he wouldn't.
What's the difference? You know what I mean?
Well, no. I was going to say usually the world champion goes over, but that wasn't the case with Hogan Warrior.
Exactly.
So,
I don't know. I think this is the kind of feud that we've seen this feud. We've seen this feud before. Don't get me wrong. And I enjoyed it. Yeah, we kind of saw it, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. And I think it could bring some life back to that Universal title because now you have it. Because the last people that have fought for it after Brock won it from Goldberg were Braun, Joe, and Roman. 3 guys.
Right.
And I think they all got one. I mean, Joe only got 1 title shot. How many did Braun get?
2? One was a triple threat with Kane.
Okay, so we'll call it 2. And Roman's got however many he's got.
3? 2?
3? I think it's 3. I believe it's 3.
No, it's just Mania and Rumble.
No, really?
Mania and Greatest Rumble. And
why does it feel like this has been going on for ages?
Well, because they've been
the Roman
building it up.
thing, yeah, for the last 4 years.
Which that's the other thing. Everyone's always like, "Oh, this year Roman Reigns is supposed to win the title, and it would be the big coronation of Roman Reigns."
They say that every fucking year.
But didn't Roman Reigns beat Triple H for the title at WrestleMania 32?
You don't know what
Everyone
you're
forgets
talking about.
about that.
Hey, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, every year people come up with that excuse of. I really like what J1 Flights this year. Brock is handcuffing the WWE in storylines, but he doesn't give a shit because he has money. He couldn't give two shits about who he's handcuffing.
Here's what people don't get. Brock Lesnar's character is supposed to be an MMA fighter. You don't have the heavyweight champion defending their title on every pay-per-view or every show. No, they come in every couple of months. The champions come in every couple of months to defend their titles. You don't have the same people on every show. So that's what Brock Lesnar is supposed to be, and that's how they can justify it. They're like, Brock Lesnar, he's like an MMA fighter. He comes in when he needs to on the big show, when they need him to defend his championship. There you go. So, I mean, I get it in that way, how they can justify it, but...
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's weird. Thank you, Lethal Efficiency. I appreciate it.
If you guys do want to call in and talk about this, the phone number is 559-475-8473.
Tim, if you got to pick who takes that title off Brown, who would you pick?
Wait, what?
If you got to pick who took the title off of Brock, who would you pick?
Seth Rollins.
You'd pick Rollins?
I loved Seth Rollins as the champion, and now that he can be a babyface champion, it gives it a whole different dynamic to where it's not going to be the same thing as it was last time.
Do you want to see him as a double champion?
Not necessarily.
How did you feel about
champion.
the double How did you feel about the double championship with him being the United States and WWE? How did you feel about that?
I really didn't feel much about it at all because it didn't really last long. It really only went between 2 pay-per-views. He won it at one pay-per-view and he lost it to Cena again at SummerSlam.
Oh, I thought he held it for much longer. Yeah, because that started the slew of the great open challenges of Cena.
Right.
Yeah.
Now here's one thing I want to ask you: when you think of Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins, what's the first thing you think of? Do you think the same thing I do?
I know what you're thinking. It's the Mania that you were at, but I think more of the. I think of Brock destroying the fucking car.
Exactly.
Him destroying the car.
Yep, that's the first thing I think of too.
I know a lot of people think of Mania, but I mean,
that was more Brock Roman.
Say that again?
That was more Brock Roman than Seth did cash in, but that whole thing was built around Brock Roman.
Yeah,
so that's why I really don't think of Seth versus Brock at that point.
Exactly. Batman Hulk says Bobby should be Universal Champ. Which one? Bobby Roode or Bobby Lashley?
If he says Bobby, that's Bobby Lashley, because Bobby Roode is Bob.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know. I don't think either of them should be Universal Champion, to be honest.
I highly doubt that.
What did he ask?
El Juice says Seth takes steroids. I highly doubt that. I mean, you never know, but...
Have you seen those pictures of his thing? He don't take no steroids.
That CrossFit Jesus.
Yeah. Brock is the beast slayer of indie midgets. Jesus Christ. I don't even think Balor should be world champion, to be honest with you.
He was supposed to be.
Whoever's going to be the next world champion, Roman's beating. You know what's really weird to me?
I don't know if I would say that.
I was born in 1999. You were born in what?
1989.
1989. So you're 10 years older than I am. Neither of us experienced what was that lovely title reign?
Bruno?
San Martino's title reign of 2,000 days.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to fucking see that. I don't want to see that.
True.
And this may be a weird kind of hot take, but I don't want to see a 2,000-day long title reign.
I don't think it'll happen.
I don't think it'll ever happen, but you got to assume if they're really pushing this, Roman's going to be the champion, what how long would he even hold that title for? No one's. I mean, I don't think he'll draw because not even Seth Rollins really drew as champion.
Well, I mean,
which is a shock.
When he held the title the last time, he only really held it for 4 months.
Because he did get hurt.
No. He failed a drug test.
Roman?
Yeah, he failed that drug test.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Seth.
No. That's why Seth held that title for a while. Seth held it for like 6 months almost. You see, he held it from April, May, June, July, August, September, October. Yeah, about 6 months. No, Roman, though. Last time Roman held the title, he only really held it for 3 or 4 months. Then they did this stuff where Seth Rollins came back. Then Dean won Money in the Bank. And so...
yeah.
And that's when they did their thing where the Shield all held the WWE Championship in the same night because Seth beat Roman at Money in the Bank. And then Dean cashed in on Seth.
I remember that.
Yep.
I remember that a lot. Yeah, that was weird. I watched that downstairs in my living room. What is this here? Let's take a look at the chat here for a minute. BC Boys 124 says, who do you guys think will be the next Raw Tag Team Champions? I don't see Woken, Matt, and Bray being champions for long. I see them being transitional champions for... Really? You think so?
I don't know. I can see it, though.
Fuck, man. I can, too.
I can see it.
I can, too. I really can, too. I'm not going to lie. I can see it happening. Oh, the Shield's big fan WWE with the 2 pounds. Thanks, brother.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Which member of the Shield were you? Were you Roman, Seth, or Dean? Those were the members of the Shield, right?
Or were you Kurt Angle, honorary member?
Yeah.
Hey, TLC
he
2017.
Fucking came out with the goddamn vest on.
Did you just snort?
Yeah, he had the goddamn vest and everything. Oh, fuck. Oh, he had the vest and everything.
He sure did.
Oh, why don't we talk about Enzo Amore?
You want to talk Enzo?
Yeah, let's talk Enzo.
Let's talk Enzo. All right.
So, Enzo the case has been dropped. It is now a closed case, but if any evidence does resurface, then the case can be reopened. Now, everyone's gonna make fun of my laugh. It was funny.
I don't think anything's gonna come of it. Like they said that there's insufficient evidence. There's nothing they can find that would cause them to think he was guilty.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and it's kind of that effect of like something said on social media, it could spread, especially if it's someone. Lethal efficiency, we might do that today. You know what? That's how we're gonna end the show. We'll do that lethal efficiency. Let's fantasy book Dean Ambrose's return. Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, about Enzo though.
Going back to Enzo, and I think I tweeted something out. I said Enzo would be a perfect fit in Impact. Literally not 3 minutes later. Ringside News updated me with like the case has been dropped. I looked on Instagram and he had a story up, and it was him, and he's all clean shaven now. He looks weird.
Now you say he would be a good fit in Impact.
Yeah.
Did you hear Don Callis' comments today?
Say never, right?
So
you just said never.
Right. So Don Callis they do their conference calls every week or whatever. And Don Callis was on the conference this week. The question of Enzo Amore came up since he's clear of charges, and Don Callis said the following. Never say never. You evaluate talent based on need and what you're looking to do. We have long-term plans for how we engage with talent in terms of who's going to be on the roster, what roster spots we need filled, etc. It's not as much of a random thing. So, as with any talent, I think time will tell. So he's basically said, yeah, there could be interest there, but it's not like we're clamoring to go seek him out right now.
Yeah, it's not like that. It's something that they're pursuing heavily right now. But regardless, I think he could be a fantastic fit.
I think he would. They're bringing in Rich Swann.
He has the amazing mic skills. The wrestling skills, I mean, they're passable for Impact standards, I guess.
They're passable. They're I mean, they're not awful, but they're not anything to write home about.
No.
Yeah, and I think if Father Saki, you raise a really good point as well. He could also bring a bit of an audience. He can bring
Exactly.
a lot of people with him. He is a very, very popular man, not only in wrestling but on social media and in the and in a lot of the world. And yes, Batman Hulkass. Do you guys like Enzo? I personally think he was in a sucky phase, and then as a heel, he showed he couldn't really wrestle. Now, I never thought he was a great wrestler. I never saw him as a competitor. I always saw him as the guy that would hype up the matches, the guy who could get in a couple spots, and then Big Cass would do the rest of the work.
Exactly.
Which, that's fine. That's fine if that's the tag team. I don't know why they broke them up. I don't know why. I mean,
They wanted Enzo to be that cruiserweight champion.
apparently people are saying my mic is bad. Go ahead and take it for a minute.
You keep getting like fuzzy just for like quick seconds here and there, but it's like so quick that I didn't even mention it. But
My mic, right? It's just the microphone makes natural cuts through Skype because Skype's awful. We need to start using Discord to record our audio. We need to start using Discord.
yeah.
It works so much better.
Anyways,
Yeah, it really sucks to see a guy like Enzo and everything that went through, and I feel bad for the guy because I mean, a lot of that stuff sucks.
yeah, I mean, like some people were saying today, she ruined his life. I mean, yes and no, I guess, in a way.
Thank you, the Shield's big fan WWE for the £5. Who is the best WWE wrestler? 5 girls and 5 man. We could do that. We'll do that in a little bit after we talk.
We'll talk about that later.
Batman Hulk, that's perfect. Enzo should, he could be a really, really good manager. He could be a great manager for someone in Impact that is still coming up, that is still learning, and he can come out here and he would be excellent because he could go toe-to-toe with any person on the mic.
Oh, for sure.
So, I think that's my just personal opinion. That's just me.
But so another thing that not really happened, but news came out today. I want to get your opinion on.
Is this
Raw
the SmackDown stuff?
and SmackDown in about a year or so may not be on the same network. They may have to be separated. So what we're learning, not much is known about this, but according to the Hollywood Reporter, there is reports coming out that NBC Universal, which owns USA Network, is looking to keep Monday Night Raw, but they don't want SmackDown Live. They've told the WWE that you can do whatever you want. You can go and take SmackDown to another network. We don't care. We won't care about exclusivity with WWE and stuff, and that they want to pay them more for Raw.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It was weird because the way the Hollywood Reporter worded it, they said that they got SmackDown from the CW when they left the CW network for $30 million. Now, right now, they're paying a total for both Raw and SmackDown $180 million a year. So I don't know where that 30 comes in. Does that mean that they pay 30 for SmackDown and 150 a year for Raw? That's the thing that I'm wondering.
That's
because
crazy.
Because the Hollywood Reporter says that they're looking to pay 3 times what they're paying now for Raw, but they didn't say how much they're actually paying for Raw. And so other thing...
Yeah, no, you're good. Go ahead and continue.
I was going to say the other thing is they did say that there's interest in Fox, but what we had heard in the last couple of months is that Fox wanted Raw and SmackDown, and I think Fox wanted Raw more than SmackDown anyways. Because Fox wanted Raw for their Fox broadcasting network.
I would not complain if SmackDown went to CW again.
Yeah, I can see it. Now, here's the other question. Here's a couple things. Now for everybody that keeps, like, I don't know how many times in the comments I had to tell people this, put it back on Sci-Fi. One,
is that even a network anymore?
No. Well, here's the thing. One, I wouldn't put it back on Sci-Fi anyways because that was just, I don't know why they did that in the first place. And two, they can't. Sci-Fi is owned by NBC Universal, and if they don't want SmackDown, then it's not going to go on the Sci-Fi network. So, but then here's the other thing. SmackDown's always been taped on Tuesdays. For the longest, it was on Thursdays on tape delay, two-day tape delay. Then when it went to CW, it was on Fridays. So now here's the question. They're going to shop it to these other networks that are hopefully going to want to keep it on Tuesday because they're not going to change when it's taped. And I think SmackDown or Raw, way better when it's a live show.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, do they move it to
SmackDown?
It's like, do they move it? Go
ahead. I was just going to say that I think bringing SmackDown to a tape delay would suck.
I mean,
it would hurt.
We saw it for almost 16 years or so.
We saw it for 16 years, but now look at the talent that we have on there. That's the kind of wrestling you want to put live.
Well, the talent's not going to matter. It's that the shows are better when they're live because you don't just think about this week's Raw and SmackDown. You don't know what's going to happen beforehand.
Exactly. Nothing gets spoiled.
And even like the last couple of years before WWE moved it to live, they would spoil stuff on WWE.com. Like someone would win a championship on SmackDown, and that night, that Tuesday, they would post it on WWE.com. But then you'd go watch SmackDown, and they'd tell you that they're live.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know.
It's weird. I think they needed.
Joe on Flight says SmackDown deserves 3 hours. No, Raw does not even need to be 3 hours.
I just want to mention this. During the XFL announcement,
yes,
Vince McMahon said, "No one wants to sit through a 3-hour show."
He said the shorter you can get this game of football, the better. That's why he wants no timeouts, no huddles, and no halftime.
Which I don't understand. I will never understand why the fuck Raw is still 3 hours.
I can tell you exactly why it's 3 hours.
Because they fucking can?
Because USA Network and NBC are paying them to be 3 hours. They said, you're 2 hours. If we give you X amount of more money, will you put a third hour on that show? And it was too much money for them to turn down. So, I mean, that's what's going on with SmackDown. That's all we really do know. We don't know much other than NBC basically said we don't want SmackDown anymore. And where it goes, nobody knows.
Where it goes, nobody knows. SmackDown goes to Twitch. Absolutely.
I saw someone say put it exclusively on Hulu, but then that's going to hurt WWE because how many people are going to want to – because I know some guy goes, put it exclusively on Hulu. I'd pay for Hulu to have it, but it's like, no. Most people aren't going to pay to have it on Hulu. They'll wait until they can just get a bootleg copy online or wait a couple however long it's going to be before they put it up on the network, or they'll just
I think it's a day. It's a to the network. Okay.
Or they just wait 2 hours after SmackDown's over and then they watch all the clips on YouTube.
Exactly.
So I mean,
or they come right here to pro wrestling. I'm kidding.
No, I mean, I'm just saying
go ahead.
There's I think putting it on a subscription network like Hulu is not a good idea.
Yeah, that's going to hurt it more than it will help it.
Right, and I think putting it on something like, I mean, they don't have UPN anymore. I know in most places it's now called My Network TV. I don't know if they'd be interested in picking it back up. I think you put SmackDown back on broadcast television would be great.
Yeah.
It'd open it up to a lot more homes, whether that's Fox, the My Network TV, CW. It's just the fact of all these channels, they have they have their already programming set, and you're bringing in SmackDown. Unless you're already like an established sports channel that you can work it in, a lot of these channels that have their Monday lineup, their Tuesday lineup, their Wednesday lineup, their third, it's gonna be harder for them to squeeze a 2-hour SmackDown in there on a Tuesday and not say, well, we have a good lineup on Tuesday. Can we delay it and put it on Thursday or Friday or something?
Yeah. How long was it? Friday Night SmackDown?
I don't know how long, but it wasn't. Well, was it Friday?
I think that's when I started being old enough for my parents being like, "Yeah, you can watch this."
Was it Fridays when it moved to Sci-Fi, or was that when it moved back to Thursday? Because I know it did move back to Thursdays on Sci-Fi, but I don't remember if it was still on Fridays on Sci-Fi at first or not.
Nicole says Hulu's not in Canada. Well, I mean, that's not a real fucking place.
Well, yeah, these won't affect the Canada. True
Flight, Canada. This won't affect the Canada.
True Flight 1K says Access TV. That ain't gonna happen because that's less homes than most any network they can go to.
TNA's home.
And 2, that's where Access is where New Japan is on Friday nights.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's not really like I said, much more to say because there's not much known. It was just something that all of a sudden just came out of nowhere today, a story that nobody expected.
Tim and Nick WWE 2K19 is being made. That's very true.
We've known that, but they officially, they put it out in their...
They gave out the press release.
Yeah, they put it out in their earnings report saying, hey, this is one of our upcoming games. So, I mean, there wasn't any new news about it other than it's coming out this fall, which we expected around October time.
It moved to Fridays in 2005.
That sounds about right.
5 or 6 at that point.
Smackdown to E&A or A&E.
Do you remember what your first ever wrestling shirt was?
Shirt?
It's a little topic we were talking about in the Discord the other day. I realized that I messed mine up.
I have no clue.
No, you don't remember?
It might have been a CM Punk shirt.
So, my second ever wrestling shirt was a black and white NWO shirt. My first ever was on Christmas. My buddy Horatio, who was my best friend growing up, got me a DX t-shirt, which on the back had the cartoon Shawn Michaels and Triple H mooning.
That shows your age.
Yeah, it showed my age at that point. But that was my first ever WWE shirt. So what was your guys' first ever shirt? Someone said mine was a Jeff Hardy shirt, says Alex Rodriguez. That's not a bad shirt, dude.
Juliana says the best in the world shirt. Sean Cook, SmackDown Live should be on Netflix. Netflix doesn't do live programming, though. And
Alex Rodriguez started the conversation about the whole shirt deal.
And other than, I can't remember what show it is, but there's only like one show on Netflix, maybe 2, that they put out.
No, there's a lot of shows on Netflix. Netflix has a lot of shows, Tim.
No, that they put out like the episodes weekly instead of binging it all at once.
Yeah.
I think it's the John McHale show, which is basically like Talk Soup or Tosh.0.
Austin Baxley says my first ever shirt was a Taker shirt. Still might have it.
Nice.
Rios 2003 says mine was a WWE WrestleMania 30 shirt. Oh,
nice.
Geez. The club shirt was my first. Mine was a CM Punk. Mine John Cena, and then that's just his logo, I'm assuming. I had someone come into one of the places I work at with a tribute to the troops ring crew shirt.
What?
I was like, how'd you get that? He's like, oh, yeah, I helped build the ring. I was like, dude, that's fucking awesome. He's like, yeah, this shirt's like a few years old. I'm like, that's really cool.
From where? Northern California?
Yeah, he was down here.
Interesting. Well, I was assuming he was from the area.
I don't know. I don't know where. I didn't ask him, hey, where are you from? What's your social security number, baby? I didn't ask him that. I couldn't care enough. But he had the shirt on. J1 Fly says The Rock. I'm assuming that means his first shirt. A Ring of Honor shirt. I didn't even know Ring of Honor had fucking shirts in my life.
Oh,
well, of course. Well, didn't Pro Wrestling Tees, they had the... Ooh, did you see what Ring of Honor announced for their video on demand service?
No, I did not.
It was like the rise of Kevin Steen.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I'm definitely gonna watch that. Even if I have to buy it, the Roman Believe shirt. Nice. Ooh, a Dudleyville jersey. I've seen a lot of those on like those Instagram pages, which is it's wrestling for sale. They have a ton of fucking throwback shirts that I've always wanted to buy from there. My first shirt was a Tito Santana shirt.
All right.
Rios 2003 says, "Can I have a shout out?" No. What do you call it? So you have a show that you want to mention?
Yes. So
you created a show.
This Friday, we're starting a new series. It's called Link It to Wrestling. So what I'm going to do is you guys give me suggestions on things you want to see how they can link to wrestling, as far as I take a topic and how I can get it to connect to pro wrestling. So here's an example. Someone in the comments on the video I posted the other day said, can you link Rick and Morty to the WWE? Now, I can actually do this 2 different ways. I'm going to take the long way, though.
You're going to take the long way? I've never heard of that before.
So you have Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty, their merch is sold at Hot Topic.
No, that's not the long way. That's the easy way.
No. It's giving me an extra step.
No, it's not. Their merch is sold at Hot Topic.
No,
WWE is merch
shut
at Hot
up,
Topic.
and I'll tell you.
Well, there you go. That's
No.
not the long route, you fuck.
Hey, shut up, and I'll tell you. Okay, Rick and Morty merch is sold at Hot Topic. Hot Topic sells Bullet Club merch, a.k.a. Young Bucks t-shirts. Young Bucks once appeared on an episode of The Dirt Sheet on ECW and Sci-Fi impersonating DX. Boom, just linked Rick and Morty to the WWE.
You could have just said that they sell their shirts here, and so does
Yeah,
WWE.
but I wasn't gonna take the bitch way out and go the easy route.
So you took 2 extra steps.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the thing that we're gonna be. You said we're gonna be doing that Fridays, so that comes out. And
I believe
you have the
it'll be
first
every
episode
Friday.
shot already.
Every Friday, and most weeks it may come out a day early for Patreon.
Oh, Chris Hunter has a good one. Pornhub to the WWE. Easy, Paige.
That's
Anyway.
what I was gonna say.
I would never make that joke until this exact moment.
But yeah, so that show should be coming on Fridays, and I want your suggestions on things that you want me to link to wrestling. And I'm going to try and not just take the easy route every time, because I've got a couple of them in the suggestions already, and it's just like, well, that one's too easy to do. So,
ooh, promo vlogs with a great question says, why don't you leave your channel to just about wrestling news? Because fuck you, we can do whatever we want.
Well, because we're more than just news. We want to give you guys all kinds of content.
Hey, and how can they submit topics?
Either in the comments on the link to wrestling videos, or
not here, because here we'll get lost.
Or you can do it on Twitter with the hashtag PWULLITW.
You forgot you're you know what, throw in the chat so they know.
Yeah.
And then are we gonna touch on the other game that we have?
It's not.
Are we gonna touch on that tonight? It's not ready yet. There's a lot of people asking about it. Okay. Anyway, the Shield's big fan WWE with another £3. I don't know how much that is in USD, but thank you.
Right.
He hasn't specified which one he is, if he Seth, Dean, or Roman. KFC and watermelon to the WWE. Easy.
So, getting off the WWE topic here, All In.
Oh boy.
Wait,
oh.
let me wait.
Big Conrad circle jerk.
You can say your thing in a second. Hold on. I'm
No,
gonna give the news first.
Not cool earlier. Yeah,
I'm gonna give the news first. So, All In tickets went on sale last Sunday, and within 30 to 35 minutes, completely sold out the 10,000 seat arena. Cool, great. Now, a lot of people have been positive on it. A lot of people have been negative on it, and I can see both ways. I can see both ways where they're just like, oh, it's a glorified one-time only show. But at the same time, it's like, well, they did something cool, and they're doing it their own way. They're self-funding it. They're not, because the Young Bucks told I think it was 2 weeks ago, they were on Jericho's podcast, and they said that they've had major companies call them, email them, and say, hey, we want to fully fund your All-In show. And they said no. So I got to give them respect for that.
Yeah, that kind of takes out the purpose of that independently funded thing. And I can appreciate that, because I can appreciate them wanting to do this on their own.
Now, there's an event taking place the day before.
There's an event taking place called StarCast. And it's basically, if you know, during the NFL draft and around the Super Bowl time, they do Radio Row, where everyone comes down, and it's a big old fun time, and no one pays any money. But instead, when you go to Podcast Row for StarCast, if you do it before May, I believe it was May 12th, it was only $499. And if you do it after that, it is $599. And you know what you get to do on Podcast Row, Tim? You get to maybe talk to a member of the Bullet Club, or you'll probably get just some fucking person that's at the show.
You're guaranteed, I think, 2 people that are scheduled for the show.
Yeah, you're guaranteed 2. It's shocking. So you get that, and then you get, what else do you get? You get and I understand why it's so expensive. You get the tickets to the event, you get the media, all that stuff. But what kind of bothers me, and what kind of sticks the fork in me, is that guys like Bruce Pritchard, guys like his butt buddy Conrad, guys like Dave Meltzer, Brian Alvarez, Eric Bischoff, all these fucking people that are going, do you think they really fucking paid that $4.99? No, they're going because they had that sheer fucking star power.
I don't think
that's what really sticks across me, because this event is going to be filled of just circle jerking the fucking Bullet Club, like, oh, this fucking All-In so good, it's so good, oh god, but no one's gonna be there and fucking criticizing it, which blows. I don't want to fucking listen to every radio show in the world praise this. Someone's got to fucking say something, and someone's got to point out a flaw in this, man.
They're doing,
for God's sakes,
like...
Progress Wrestling sold out a 12,000 seat arena, a 12,000 seat arena, a 12,000 seat arena with independent names. All In sold out with Bullet Club names and old retired fucking WWE people. If you didn't sell that out, that would be fucking outstanding. The fact that it took you that many people to sell out, the fact that you had to get these WWE guys or it wouldn't have sold out. I'm sorry, but Progress is over here making fucking waves with the people that they're signing, but no one's giving Progress any credit. But since you've got these retired WWE guys, you've got Rey Mysterio showing up. Oh, fucking boy, he killed a man. Oh, boy. Now you're going to sell out that 10-seat arena in Chicago. And, of course, everyone's coming their fucking jeans at the thought of CM Punk. I don't give a fuck what you guys say about me. I don't give a shit what you say, how mad you get. All In was doomed from the start when that idea of Punk coming, because when Punk doesn't come, everyone's going to be really pissed off.
Nick.
And that's my 2 cents on it.
Have you heard of the ticket prices if you want to be a fan at StarCast? They're bracelets.
Oh boy.
So it's actually a 4-day.
Hold on. Shout out to Galvis here saying this is why Nick's a good heel. Thank you, baby boy.
It's actually a 4-day event.
Yeah.
Starts on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday morning before the show. So if you pay $50, you get your general admission weekend pass, which I assume is for all 4 days. You get to go into the vendor room for photos and autographs with wrestlers, and you get to go to all the different common areas where all the podcasts will be. Now, the silver bracelet, which is sold out, was $59, all access to all weekend events, not seating guaranteed. Now, if you get their gold bracelet, you get access to all events. You get special seating during the panels they're doing, and you get to meet a member of Being the Elite.
Right, which also, remember, members of Being the Elite are guys like Hangman Adam Page, too.
Which is $129. And then, for $179, which is sold out, all the Platinum VIP bracelets, access to all weekend events for StarCast, priority seating, and 15% off selected purchases during StarCast. So it's not even 15% off everything I guess like if they're selling merch, you don't even get 50% off everything. It's just selected things.
Exactly. Which, I mean, still, it's a good deal. I mean, 50% off anything's a good sale, I guess.
And they're running it kind of like a Comic-Con where they have their different like panels. First off, they're doing a Being the Elite meet and greet, where the image here shows the Bucks, Cody, and then somebody that is grayed out. They
Probably
have
Kenny.
an X-Pac NWO. It's called X-Pac 12360 Degrees of the NWO with X-Pac, Kevin Nash, and Scott Hall panel.
Isn't what is it? 12360 is X-Pac.
That's his podcast.
Have you ever listened to it? Is it good?
Yeah, I like it. I mean,
is it on AfterBuzz or Westwood One?
I think I don't know if they're still with AfterBuzz, but they are associated with Westwood One now because they're with Jericho.
What was that? What was Jericho on before?
Podcast One. And every wrestler basically left Podcast One.
Yeah.
So then the next event they're doing is the roast of Bruce Pritchard, but nobody that's roasting him is yet to be announced. And then
this has all been a story build up because Meltzer's gonna beat him.
And then with J.J. Dillon, Eric Bischoff, Kevin Sullivan, and David Penzer, they're doing a Death of WCW panel. How are you going to do a Death of WCW panel without the guy that wrote the book?
Now, I've heard very mixed reactions about the books, and our own Sean Ross Sapp had something to talk about the book, which I'm not going to mention because I haven't read the book because I'm still at a 5th grade level and I can't read.
But so that's all the different things that are taking place at StarCast, All In. They have only really announced one match for All In. Cody Rhodes will be challenging for the NWA Heavyweight Championship. As of right now, he will be taking on Nick Aldis, unless Nick Aldis does lose that title before All In.
Do you ever see how fucking weird Billy Corgan looks nowadays?
Oh, he's always looked weird.
Yeah, he's always been a weird guy. But did you hear how he phrased it? He was like, Cody Rhodes will face Nick Aldis if Nick Aldis survives.
Well, no, he didn't say Cody. He didn't say Cody. Cody said that he was the one challenging because he just said the title will be on the line. Nick Aldis will be defending and then Cody goes, well, I guess I should make the announcement that Billy forgot to say I'm the one challenging for the title. Yeah.
But he said it like if.
If he survives.
Corbin was like, if he survives. I was like, is it a death match?
Well, because their whole thing is the
Alex
NWA.
Rodriguez, why are you proud of that?
Because their whole thing is the NWA World Heavyweight Champion travels the globe defending his title because he just defended the title against Colt Cabana in China.
So, oh, wow, he did. I forgot. Colt Cabana. God damn, that dude. Wasn't he the first ever wrestling podcast?
Him and Hurricane had two of the first.
Hurricane had a podcast?
Didn't last. Oh, hey, here's another thing. Conan's podcast is doing a live deal at StarCast as well with Conan, Hurricane, and Disco Inferno.
Oh, boy. Didn't Disco Inferno and Cody have some beef going back and forth on Twitter?
Might have. Hey,
I think they
karaoke with Marty Skrull? They're doing that at StarCast.
I want to do karaoke with Marty Skrull. Do I want to pay fucking $400 to go do karaoke?
No, I'm talking about if you want to be a fan in the audience. Whoa.
People say Roman
Matthew
Reigns.
of Botchamania's got a show at StarCast.
I don't think it's. I don't know if it's a show or it's just like
a very live Botchamania at StarCast featuring Matthew, Ron Funches, Casino Kid, and Tony Schiavone.
I know two of those names. It was Tony Schiavone and Matthew.
Ron Funches is a comedian. I don't know the Casino Kid guy, but yeah, they've gotten Matthew of Botchamania. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see that one before. So that's StarCast and all that.
Shout out to E, Sean. You didn't reply to my super chat, so I'm unsubscribing. Shame. Herman Booger. That's why. Oh, sorry, I didn't read that. Colt Cabana made podcasts famous. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, well, wrestling podcast.
Nick and Enzo should be a manager tag team and have a podcast. See that? Why would we be a manager tag team? That means we would have to wrestle. Matthew is dad. Accurate. Matthew, come on the show. I invited Matthew on the show, and he said he'd be willing to.
I think it was the time difference thing.
Here's the thing. You know who was interested in coming on the show?
Who?
And we've still to work out a date. We worked out a date, but he had something come up.
Huh.
Ryan Zane.
Oh, that's right.
Brian Zane, because I messaged Ryan Zane. I was like, hey, we'd like to have you on. He's like, hell yeah. We're in the same fucking time zone. He's in Reno, I think.
Yeah.
I'm going to remessage him.
Go for
How
it.
many of you guys would like us to talk to Brian Zane? What's the relationship between PW and Joe Cornyn? We had Joe on a show.
Yeah, we had Joe on a show November, December time.
Around November, December. On holidays.
More
It was really cool.
Yeah,
I'm
he's a good guy.
Real big fan of Joe. Joe, if you're listening, I love you, man.
Very dedicated to his channel.
Oh, god damn, he's so dedicated. I give him props because I've always had dreams of wanting to do exactly what I'm doing now, but I'm still working, a fucking retail job, and I'm applying to another job right now. But to see what that guy's doing, that's just outstanding. I love that guy. Gosh.
Like, let's do our own podcast row here on our channel. We'll get everybody that can't go to StarCast, and we'll all do stuff live on our channel.
Ooh, you know what? That wouldn't be a bad idea. Get Dean Ambrose on the show. Where's Nick the Rapper? Asked Katie. He's in a dark, dark, dark part of hell. Father son. All favorite.
Nerd Killer says, "Who's Brian Zane?" Go check out Wrestling with Regret with a W. Regret with a W.
Get Shinsuke Nakamura on the show. Dude, no speak English. Sorry. So, there's something I want to talk about. Is this little thing we have called a Patreon.
Shoot.
The Patreon's really cool. It's patreon.com/PWUnlimited Tim. I don't have my computer loaded up for YouTube. I have
I've got it
on my iPad. It's not the right email and everything. Ooh, thank you a lot. I don't know how to pronounce your first name. Wario Galvez. I like the interview with the Saudi Arabia guy. Thank you so much. He really enjoyed it. We're hopefully going to have him on again.
He actually just won a championship in Northern California.
All Pro Wrestling.
No, it wasn't All Pro.
East Bay Pro Wrestling.
East Bay, there you go.
Out of here in Hayward, about 10 minutes away from me. No, not even 10, like 3 minutes away from me. But so we have the Patreon. You can get things like exclusive merchandise, exclusive videos. You get to vote on topics for things like Nick Hot Takes or classic match commentaries, where we look at old matches and we kind of break them down. And you guys can vote on those. We also have things like you can get your name scrolling across the screen there if you want it to be your wrestling name, Twitter name, all that fun stuff. You can do things like write us, messages if you have your own hot take that you want us to read out on air. If you have something you want to get off your chest, you have something you want to say, you guys can do that. That's one of the perks. We have a ton of cool perks on there that I would love to death for you guys to just to check it out, take a look at it, see if it interests you. Give us your feedback, because that's one thing. I sat here. Oh, it's pronounced Hyro. Thank you. I sat here the other day and thought, I really, really want to make the Patreon because I understand spending money sucks. I fucking hate spending money to death. I hate it. So I want to make sure that if you guys are spending the money, you guys are getting something you feel is adequate out of it. So give me your feedback. You can give it to me on Twitter at PW_Armstrong. You can give it to us right here on YouTube. You can shoot us an email at PW staff or PWUnlimited staff?
PWUnlimited staff at gmail.com.
Yeah, so PWUnlimited staff at gmail.com. Any ideas that you have for it? Our own Nicholas Bronson came up with an idea for like a betting, or not a betting system,
but a fantasy sports deal.
Like a fantasy sports deal, which I think would be fantastic for major pay-per-views. You guys can win stuff like shirts, all that fun stuff. So, I mean, Sean Cook, every Friday we have the Fightful Wrestling Weekly. That's a face cam
video. And I think I might be on cam for my Link It to Wrestling video as well.
Nice. So yeah, we do have a ton of cool stuff on the Patreon. If you guys want to check it out, Nicole right here says she loves us on Patreon. We love Nicole. So if you guys want to check out the Patreon, that means the world to us. We also have a Pro Wrestling Tees store at prowrestlingtees.com/PWUnlimited. Am I forgetting anything to talk about, or is that going to be the...
We also got a Tee Public store with even more merch than the Pro Wrestling Tees.
Yeah, we have even more merch on there. Shirts that didn't quite cut the Pro Wrestling Tees store. So...
Yep.
It'd be awesome. It would be super, super cool. Batman Hulk, it's all a work. Love is a work. Love is not real. It's all a work. It's all a work. So I just want to say thank you.
Yeah. Thank you to everybody that's helped us get to 94,000 subscribers. We're 6,000, less than 6,000 away from 100,000. Less than 6,000 away. Really? I can't believe it.
Yeah, we haven't done a gaming stream lately.
No, we have not. Maybe we can do one soon.
Yeah, we gotta do that soon.
But I think that's gonna do it for tonight, though.
That's gonna do it for tonight's show. I really want to thank you guys for tuning in. My name has been Nick. You can follow me on Twitter at PW_Armstrong. You can follow us on Twitter at Pro Wrestling Unlimited. And right here on the YouTubes, we want to thank you guys for tuning in for this fun little doozy of a show tonight. I gotta get to Starbucks. I've been craving coffee. I haven't had coffee in like a week and a half. Road to 100K. You are damn right. We're going to get that cool little plaque. And we do have something planned for 100K. For those of you that are wondering if we're doing something or something like that, we have something planned for you guys. So, Tim, where can I...
You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at TimmyBuddy. And then you can also go find our buddies at Fightful.com. They got the best pro wrestling news, MMA news, boxing news. I mean... I like the UFC and everything, and like I don't really keep up with it that much, but I mean, they're posting everything I need to know. So it's like, hey, there's a show coming up. I go straight to Fightful, and I know who's fighting on that show coming up. What's going on? Did somebody not make weight? Like I said, I don't follow MMA that much, but I watch most of the pay-per-views. But so I know what's going on. I keep linked with Fightful, and you can find them either at Fightful.com. Fightful Online on Twitter, or Fightful Wrestling. I think they even have a Fightful MMA Twitter as well.
Yeah, they do. They have Fightful Twitter accounts for all their specific genres.
Right.
You just gotta go. If you follow Fightful Online, you're gonna get the good ones.
Exactly. But that's gonna do it for us. We will be back Friday with a Fightful Wrestling Weekly, bright and early. Video gets posted every morning at 6 a.m. Eastern.
No. 6 a.m. Eastern? 3 a.m. Pacific, 6 a.m. Eastern, yeah. So be sure to check that out, fellas. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. Have a good day tomorrow, guys. Have a good one.
Good night.